Hey henna lovers, welcome to Stain Your Skin, and today we are going to talk about henna types. So there are different types of henna here. We have the homemade natural henna paste, homemade white henna which is made of paint and body adhesive. We also have mass manufactured cones here. We have the Golacha brand and the Sing brand, just to name two of the most popular ones. So these three, you can get it usually off the shelf in any of Indian stores, or you can get it online. These two, however, it's quite hard to get, especially for homemade henna paste. You can only get it from your local henna artist who actually made henna paste from scratch. For white henna, there are a few henna artists who actually make up their own formula using body safe adhesive and skin pigmentation of white color, which does not affect the skin, so it acts like a body paint. So these two are more of a safer option, whereas these three, many may not have adverse reaction at the first place, but later on they develop delayed reactions such as boils on their hands where they had the designs initially. And this is not these two are called instant henna. So you just leave it on for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then you have the stain. After you wipe it off, it's bright red and it takes some time to go off. But this too is not what I would recommend if you are new to henna and if you have very sensitive skin. If you are keen in using instant henna, no one is stopping you, but please do a patch test first. For mass manufactured henna, this is usually stored in room temperature in boxes of 12 or 10, and you can get it for like a few bucks. Whereas this, once you get it from your local henna artist, they will recommend you freezing it straight away, and it can last up to 3 to 6 months in your freezer, and it gives you the freshest stain ever, freshest henna smell compared to the mass manufactured one. Okay, so for homemade henna paste, usually the henna artists, they will roll the cellophanes into a 0.38 mm or 0.5 mm tip, and then you can just remove it. Just remove it, and then you can start using it immediately. But I would recommend squeezing off the first few part of the paste so that those oxidized henna will come out first, so you get the best paste here on your skin. The next one you're going to go about is this white henna that I get from Shira Skins. They do ship worldwide. For her white henna, she does not have any pin, so you have to cut the tip according to your desired size, and from there you go on. This is the Golacha white henna cone. So you see, it's not natural. It has labels or instructions pasted, like printed on the cellophane itself, on the type of plastic. There's batch number, and it's made in India. And yeah, so you see, skin allergy be done 48 hours before each use of this product. And even though it says halal and 100% vegan, please check whether it's safe on your skin. Alright, halal doesn't mean it's totally safe, so yeah. We also have the Golacha red paste. It gives off this cherry red color, very instant, and it comes with this very funny looking tip cover. So I don't know the story behind it, but this, you have to cut the tip as well. Yeah, so you can't squeeze it unless you cut it off. And lastly, we have this very famous brand, Sing, and we also have Sharma cones here in Singapore. So this is from India, as you can see. So it has batch number and best before date as ingredients, so it's very clear that it's not natural. So yeah, so we have the henna powder and some other ingredients which we do not use in natural henna. So this come with this pin as well, but this pin is not like the pin that we use for that natural henna artists use. So you see it's metal. Let's see what this has. This one is plastic, so you can already see the difference between the natural cone and the mass manufactured cones. Alright, so you can see the thickness as well, slightly different. The mass manufactured cones pin thickness is slightly thicker than the one that we have at home based henna cones, right? I'm gonna go through in depth with these 3 henna cones. I'm gonna test its consistency and its color against the white paper I have here as a drawing board. So I'm gonna start off with the homemade henna cone here. I'm just gonna write it down so you will know the difference. Alright, so this is the homemade, so alright. Next you are going into the same mass manufactured henna cone, which I have already removed the pin, and I'm going to see the thickness as well. So it's the mass manufactured. So you see it's quite thick and very hard to squeeze. This I have to use a lot of pressure in my hand just to squeeze it out, so slightly more lumpy. See, it breaks off. Yeah, so it's the mass manufactured one. The last one is the instant red cherry kind of henna. So I'm just gonna chop it off a bit at the top. Already squeeze it off, and oof, the smell is very strong. So this one is instant and I'm squeezing it off. I'm not, this consistent is not quite tight. Same, it's hard to squeeze it off, and you can see the color. It's quite red. So I'm just gonna leave this part to dry, and then we get back onto it later. Alright, then I'm gonna scrape it off, and you can see how is the stain like for this 3 different type of henna cones that we talked about. Now it's dried. It's dried. Alright, so I'm just gonna use a card again and scrape it off. So this is how henna usually scrapes off. And yep, there's not much of difference on the paper here, but you can see the instant is really instant and it's not fully dried when I was scraping it off. So So now I'm going to apply these 3 henna cones onto my inner fingers, and we see how it goes from there. Alright, so I'm taking the natural homemade henna cone. I'm just going to do a simple small heart shape. Okay, so I have my heart shape here. I'm going on with the mass manufactured cone for my middle finger. This is quite hard to squeeze it out, so the consistency is quite different from the homemade paste. So yeah, I'm just gonna put a M here just to indicate that it's mass manufactured. Alright, and the last one will be the instant one. So the consistency for this is slightly different, so I have to be very careful. So I can't really like make a lump of dot and bring it down like a teardrop, so I have to like really draw it like with the paint. So yep, these are the 3 differences I have here with these 3 different henna cones, and I'll report to you about 1 hour later. This can be removed about 5 minutes, so I'll get back to you in 5 to 10 minutes on this. It has been 5 minutes with the instant henna, and I'm going to use a wet wipe to get it off. So here it goes. Okay, yep, this is really instant. Phase this out. You can see I just wipe it off. No transfer. So this is usually done for people who don't like to wait for very long, and fast and easy to apply on. It's not my preferred kind of texture, but you can always use it, but I wouldn't advise because of the chemicals used in instant henna. So they do have like, yeah, so you see they did indicate skin hypersensitivity test. Always perform skin hypersensitivity test 2 hours before each application. Right, and they didn't really state the ingredients as much. So it has been an hour, and I'm just gonna remove this dried henna. So remember, the M is manufactured and this is the home-based henna. Me being the clumsy person I am, definitely starts to peel off. So you can see that this is the mass manufactured henna color, and this is the homemade fresh henna cone. So you can see the difference. It's deeper orange, this is a lighter orange. So I'm just gonna leave it to oxidize for about another 5 to 6 hours with no contact of water for the stooping heart shapes, and then I'll get back to you in about 24 hours on how's the stain progress. Alright, it has been 24 hours, and you can see that the home-based cone and the mass manufactured cone has matured, whereas the instant henna has been fading a bit because of my chores over the past 24 hours. So yeah, a lot of factors take part in terms of henna stains: your body temperature, in contact with water, and whatever scrub or chemical agents that you use with your hands. So if you're a bride or someone who wants your henna stain to last long, avoid water contact as much as possible and wear gloves when doing house chores. Alright? So for white henna, I'm just going to try this college white henna and just jiggle something here to see how is the consistency. So it's actually like a paint, but the consistency wise it's slightly more different than the one I have from the local henna artist. So sorry that I actually cut the tip slightly bigger. Okay, so this is the mass manufactured one. I'm just gonna write a high here. Right, so I put M on top just to ensure that this is the mass manufactured ones. And going on to the Shira Skins, the local henna artist, I'm just gonna use the paint here. Alright, so I have two highs, and I'm gonna get back to you in about half an hour to see how the white henna has set on my skin. It has been 40 minutes and you see how it feels like now. So we're gonna start with the mass manufactured one, and yep, there is some paint on my hand. Just gonna use this clean finger again. See, there's some paint on my hand, and rub it through. It smudges, so I wouldn't say this is very good, but you can still, it still falls off. This is white henna as well, so see, it goes off very easily just by a little rub. So moving on to the local henna I get. It's dry. Okay, so I'm just gonna use my middle finger. It's not fully dry, but yeah, you can see it's really sticky. Now see that it smudges off. Yes, because it's paint. And see that it smudges off easily. Yep, so overall this is paint and it just goes off. So what I usually do for my bride is I use the local brand here, and I will just do it very, squeeze it lightly, and just draw it. If you just draw a simple heart shape. And I'm gonna fill it in. So I try not to squeeze out too much, so that it won't be tacky and very wet like what happened earlier. Just squeeze the right amount and leave it on for about 30 to 40 minutes to set. So it's been 40 minutes and this henna has set, so it's not smudging. So what I'm gonna do is apply some baby powder. You can apply talcum powder if you don't have baby powder, and I'm just gonna use a brush and brush it. Alright, so I've already applied powder over the white henna, and the surface of the white henna is much smoother than without the powder, less tacky, and doesn't go off easily. So to remove this henna, what you need to do is apply oil and rub it off in a circular motion, and it'll come right off. Alright, and that's about white henna. Thank you. Hope this helps with your henna journey in terms of discovering what type of henna paste to use and which is comfortable with you. I'm not a huge fan of instant henna, but it's your choice ultimately. Please do a patch test, be it normal mass manufactured henna, home-based henna, or instant henna, because everyone may have unknown allergies. Yeah. Alright, thank you. Bye bye.